and welcome to the Audience Adventure Radio Shower. It's an hour of radio right here on KZSC Santa Cruz, the show where we need your help for us to stay alive and make decisions on our next great adventure here every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m., rounding out the summer schedule. And we've got a fantastic, fantastic game book for you tonight. We will be reading from To Be or Not to Be from the very internet famous Ryan North. So very exciting. And it is, of course, one of the, well, I found out it was one of the most successfully Kickstarted projects, I think, of all time when it came out. And it is a branching narrative adaptation of Hamlet. So for all the Shakespeare heads, this is one for you. My name is Bennett Williamson. I'm your host here every week, and joining me, we've got pretty much the regular crew in the studio. Michael Chemers. Hello, Michael.
Hey, great to be here, Ben Bonnet, on the radio shower.
Are you getting
great to
lathered?
be back here on 80.
Lather up for the
Don't
shower.
try to soap me, pal. Just great to be back here on 88.1 from the trees to the seas.
Yes, sir. Someone's listening. And I heard a chuckle from Annika, the page keeper, the page tracker. Hello, Annika.
Good evening.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much. I like your new page keeping notebook.
I feel all official now. This is great.
It's super official. Crack that open because we're definitely going to lose our place of where we're going. Also, back once again is Donovan joining us. Hey, Don.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming back, man.
No, thanks for having me. Let's try not to die this time.
We're gonna die. Don't worry, everybody. and lastly, but not leastly, Elizabeth Swensen. Hey.
Hey, good evening.
Thank you so much, as always, for being here. All of my favorite friends and adventurers. I might play D&D with some of the people here in this room. Just saying.
What's D&D? I don't know what that is.
Do's and don'ts.
Oh, you know.
Oh, do's and don'ts, yeah.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts. So once again, folks, this is a call-in radio show. It's the Audience Adventure Radio Hour. We're going to need you to call 831-459-4036. You can also text that number. And for those of you who have never read a Choose Your Own Adventure or Choose Your Own Direction style book, there's going to be questions along the way about choices we should make, where to go, what to do in this adventure. So this ain't your average Hamlet. This is going to be one that we're going to build all together. So I actually wanted to start tonight to ask if anybody here on our great panel tonight, did anybody ever do this play? Was anybody ever in this play, Hamlet?
Hamlet?
Yeah, Hamlet.
Only about 300 times. Bennett. I mean, speaking as a theater historian, I think I can say without fear of contradiction that this is probably the most important play ever written in the English language.
Well, excellent. It seems like a good one to pick apart. Yeah, I was in it in high school once.
Is that right? What did you play?
I played Claudius, the bad guy.
You played Claudius?
Yeah, and we said it was... my high school drama teacher was a big fan of setting and sort of re-editing Shakespeare and setting it in different time periods. Mm-hmm. So this one was kind of a like Kennedy's era 60s kind of thing, and ended up with me getting shot on stage every night, which was pretty fun to do.
Oh my God, wow. You know, there actually was, Barbara, I'm killing myself, but wow, some science fiction just flew through here. Thank you. There was a play done, an adaptation of the Scottish play Macbeth, that was done about the Kennedy assassination and the cover-up called Macbird.
Oh, very nice.
Very funny play.
Excellent. Well, folks, does everyone have their scripts with them and ready to go? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, listeners, once again, we're going to need your help right off the bat. 831-459-4036 is the number to call or text, because I think the first thing that we're going to do is decide who to be. So, Michael, if you're going to be reading for us, I think we're starting on page 4 here.
That's right. I do want to read a little bit from Ryan North's introduction.
Please.
Now,
yes.
He gives you some, Mr. North gives us some historical information here, but I don't think that it is objectively trustworthy, since it begins with this phrase: William Shakespeare, 1564 AD to whenever he died. So I think there's a certain lack of historical rigor here. However, they do calculate that we can play this particular book game over 3 quadrillion times and not repeat ourselves.
Whoa.
So, audience, take yourself back to history when ghosts walked the earth and nobody knew velociraptors were ever even a thing. Steel yourself to experience the magic of Shakespeare as it was meant to be experienced in a non-deterministic narrative structure where you end up thinking maybe you made a wrong decision, so you mark the pages you were just on so you can always go back and make a different choice if you die for some dumb reason.
We've got a page keeper for that. She's a pro.
No, thank God. So now we are told there's a very interesting picture here of Ryan North, which we're just going to see. And then we go...
He looks great.
He does look great. And then we go to page 4 where we are able to pick which character we are.
Okay, well, why don't you read us into it?
You bet. So our character options are...
Well, why don't you read the beginning of the page?
You bet. You have... Okay, so this is how the adventure begins. Ready, everybody? You have
Yay!
just been born!
Yay!
Hey! Congratulations. Good work on that thing. Now, surprise, babies are boring, so we're going to jump ahead in time to a point where you're an adult and you've already lived a bunch of your life, but I promise, most of what we're skipping over was really dull. You ate a lot and slept a lot and made some friends, tears were shed, makeouts were totally had, etc. It was a bunch of high school stuff. The awesome stuff starts now. So let's begin, my friend. Remind me again who you are.
All right, so are we going to be Ophelia? Tell us about Ophelia, Elizabeth.
Oh, well, she's an awesome lady in her late 20s with a calm, competent, and resourceful demeanor. She's got a +1 bonus to science, but she's also got a -1 weakness against water, so heads up. Do not send Ophelia towards water,
Seems like there
please.
might be some extra mechanics in this game, Page Keeper, so take note. Hamlet? What about Hamlet?
Hamlet is an emo teen in his early 30s. Also, he's the Prince of Denmark, so there's that. Hamlet has a +1 resistance to magic, but there's no magic in this adventure, so this never gets mentioned again as of right now.
And someone, Hamlet Sr.?
Hamlet Senior is the king of Denmark, 50 years old. He's super good at fighting and leading men into battle and naps. Let's say +1 to each. Look, bottom line, he's an unstoppable machine of death, and should you choose to be him, you may experience kingly glory.
All right, caller. So, once again, this is your first chance to help us out. So, if we're going to play as Ophelia, we're going to turn to page 46. If we're going to play as Hamlet, which I will note has a little skull next to it, we're going to turn to page 22. And if we're going to play as Hamlet Sr., we're going to turn to page 596.
Mr. North has done the courtesy of marking in the text with a skull the choices that William Shakespeare himself made, or as he was known in his day, Will I Am Shakespeare.
Right.
And these are the choices that Will I Am Shakespeare made in his original
I see.
Choosing of this adventure.
831-459-4036. Who do you like here? You like Ophelia? She's an awesome lady by the description in the book. Hamlet sounds kind of emo, but the book's named after him, so maybe he's important. But Hamlet Sr., so John in Monterey chiming in, he texted him to say, go with Ophelia.
Great.
Unexpected.
Yeah, okay. First is the best. Let's jump right in
46.
And turn to page 46. And there's some scrolling to be done.
Page turning music, please. Thank you.
As we're scrolling, look for the hyperlinks in the PDF.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Right. You're Ophelia. You're a beautiful and independent young woman, and although it makes you roll your eyes when you think about it, you've fallen in love with a prince. Prince Hamlet is funny and charming, and he seems to like you a lot. You try not to get too excited about it because you're worried you might jinx it, but things are really going great. Only it's been hard doing the long-distance thing while you've both been off at university, and while you've loved studying capital S science, and you're sure Hamlet's loved studying capital U undeclared, it hasn't been easy. Now that you're both back together in Denmark for his father's funeral and his mother's second wedding, it's hard... It's been harder still. Hamlet's really sad, and you can't blame him for that since you know his dad died. But you wish there was something you could do to help him. When you last saw him, Hamlet mentioned how the castle seemed cold and drafty, and for some reason it stuck with you. You've been sitting at your desk trying to think of something you could give him that would help with that. A way of cheering him up a little. Remind him he's still got people who care about him. He wears these cloaks all the time, but then he's taking them off in warm rooms and putting them back on in cold ones. If only there was some way you could keep the rooms at a uniform temperature, he wouldn't need to be constantly adjusting his clothes throughout the day. But to do that, you'd need some way of measuring heat and a way of transporting it throughout the castle, perhaps through a series of pipes.
Who is it?
It's me. Come on, I'm your brother. Let me in.
Oh, it's her brother, Laertes.
All right, so listeners, if you want to let Laertes in, we're going to go to 484, or you just tell him you're busy, and we're going to turn to page 482. So 831-459-4036. We'd love to get a caller tonight. I think these decision points are going to come pretty quick, pretty hot and heavy, pretty rapid. Wouldn't it be great?
A high impact audience participation.
I think so. I think there's probably some Hamlet heads out there. I mean, what did you say, Mr. Playman, that this is the most important play of all time?
I didn't say it was the most important play of all time. I said it was the most important play in the English language.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's right. Global take. I like it. 831-459-4036. Help us out here on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour. It's all about you rereading. Maybe you hated this book. You know, this is your chance to take it your way.
I gotta say, if there are any theater scholars who are listening in our studio audience who want to call in and dispute me about whether it's the most important play in the English language, I would be so excited that there are theater scholars listening to this podcast.
I would like to note that the skull choice in this case has a lovely bow on her head.
It's a little gender normative.
It is a little bit, but I'm appreciating some distinction between the Hamlet skull and the Ophelia skull. But that's on Let Him In this case.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So that shows that Will.I.am Shakespeare actually was the one who he picked Let Him In.
Well, John's listening. Hey, John, why don't you? John texts to say, let's let him in. 459-4036. So we're going to go ahead and try clicking Chemers on 484 and see if it does anything for you. Magically
it
whisks
happened.
you. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 484. Here we go.
Okay, don't forget, Bennett, you're playing Laertes, the brother.
Oh, thank you.
You can come in, but I don't want to hear any opinions about my personal life.
If you sleep with Hamlet, you're a slut.
God damn it, Laertes.
All right. Well, we need another... yes. Thank
Annika,
you. My big
what
moment.
I'm doing now is I'm putting earplugs in your ears.
This is,
Wait, what?
a young page keeper
Exactly.
can needs to grow up on an adventure, She's a pro.
I guess this is how it happens. John, where do we do now, John?
Yeah, come on. Slut shaming right off the bat?
If you sleep with Hamlet.
831-459-4036. There hasn't been go figure, it's the annoying brother to bring it up in the first place.
Well, let's tell them their options.
Well, your two options are to slam the door in his face, or you can invite him to enter your room. So let's see. Someone's calling in to help us out on this one. Hello, caller. You're on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm at Ferrell's Donuts right now.
Oh, yeah. Which
Nice.
one?
The good one? Or
Yeah, which one?
Downtown Ocean Street.
that is the good one.
That's the good one?
That's better than the Mission one?
Yeah. Super Donuts.
What's your name, man?
Zach.
So, Zach, you don't enjoy the palatial room of the Mission Street Ferrell's Donut and the purple the purple colored scheme? You're more of a downtown kind of guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, so if you've been listening, we're trying to decide whether we're going to slam the door in our brother's face or we're going to invite him in to the room to talk to us. And he just called Ophelia a slut. So
He did.
What do you think, man?
If I was Ophelia, I'd slam the door on him.
All right.
Yeah.
Slam the door, and we're going to turn to page 492. Zach, right?
Yep.
Hang on there, Zach. We're going to need your help in just a second.
No problem.
Okay, slam that door. Yeah.
That felt good.
Deuces.
Laertes shouts through the door that he's sorry
I'm sorry!
and just wanted to say
I just
goodbye.
wanted to say goodbye because I'm leaving for France.
But when you open the door a crack, he sticks in his head and
I'm
says,
just saying, if you have sex with him, you're damaged goods.
You slam the door in his face again, barely missing his nose. You shout through the door.
You shout through
You shout through the door, Ophelia.
Oh, gosh! I got distracted by the words that are on this page.
Yeah. Words are distracting.
They are. I got excited by all the quotes. You're an entire shelf of unsellable eggs that went off weeks ago, and also,
As my brother.
as my brother, you're entirely unhealthy interest in my sex life.
Nuh-uh! You're unhealthy!
He stomps away down the hall.
What
Oh,
a jerk!
I'm stomping away!
return to page 430.
Okay, going back to the desk.
Back at your desk, you continue your work on the problem of automatically heating the castle. Hours turn into days, and you are generally left alone by both your family and your boyfriend. While Hamlet is going on, your father ignoring you is no big deal, and while you're a little worried about Hamlet not stopping by more often, he has asked you to leave him alone for a while he mourns, and you're respecting his wishes. But if you're going to be honest with yourself, you've also just gotten really absorbed in this problem. You decide to split the problem into sections, delivering heat and knowing when to deliver heat. It would be possible to put servants in every room and have them report when it's too cold, but that's both expensive and unreliable. Depends on the servant, the warmth of their clothes, how much they love to lie to people about what temperature their skin is sensing, and so on. You're wandering the castle grounds when it hits you. You've been thinking about how water expands when it freezes, and that could be used to tell you when it's cold. But it's not much use for measuring temperatures outside the freezing point. Your father Polonius happens to wander by, talking to himself about the evils of drink, and you realize...
Alcohol!
See, you can learn more from this Ryan North book besides slut-shaming. The right alcohol would expand linearly with heat, and by putting it in a slender glass vial, you could measure the size of that liquid, which would correspond 1-to-1 with the temperature. Put the same markings on each of these glass vials at the same temperatures, and you've got a universal, comparable, and consistent way of measuring heat.
Yay!
Good job, Ophelia. You wouldn't have to rely on your
Science.
servant's impression. They could just tell you what line the alcohol has reached. You run back to your room to start working on the prototype.
Who is it?
And oh my, who should answer from the other side of the door?
Well,
Seriously,
seriously.
Who should answer from the other side of the door?
Yeah, seriously, Zach, who do you think should answer from the other side of the door? Our three options are your boyfriend, Hamlet, in which case we're going to turn to page 437. Could be your father, Polonius, on the other side of the door, and we're going to go to 463. Or could be your best friend,
Dromaeosaurus.
Dromaeosaurus. So who do you want to see,
Odd
Zach?
name. Okay. Well, since my dad's right here with me,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, he's here chilling with listening to the radio.
Excellent.
So,
Hey, Zach's dad.
I think Ophelia's in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
So her dad's gonna pop in.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's go to page 463.
Hamlet is at the
Thinks he's gonna
door.
come in.
That's right. Turns out that simply wishing for someone to be at your door doesn't change who's actually there. You don't control reality with your thoughts, Ophelia. Sheesh.
Nice try, Zach.
Anyway, Hamlet opens the door and steps into your room.
It's me.
You haven't seen each other for a while. It's so great to see him. You run up and throw your arms around him and you smooch.
Ooh.
Just like old times. But the moment passes, and when you look at his face, you can see concern written all over it. He's troubled by something.
All right, Zach, we need your help. Ask him. Do you want to ask him what's troubling him, or do you want to wait for him to tell you? Are you a direct kind of guy? You want to rip the Band-Aid off, or are you just are you a soothing kind of dude?
This is
Do you want to give him some space, or do you need to throttle it out of him?
Are you like the hole in the donut? Or are you like the donut hole?
I think we're gonna let him tell us what's up.
Let it. Okay, that's very kind and gentle. You're like a chamomile tea, not a shot of espresso.
Like a gentle glazed donut.
Fun fact, I'm allergic to chamomile.
Oh,
Whoa.
Please give me none of it.
Get that chamomile out of here.
Exactly.
Take it away.
My one weakness.
Jeez, Bennett, you're just unthoughtful. Oh, yeah. You wait, doing nothing, and he pulls away from you and holds you at arm's length.
Listen,
And then he begins unbuttoning his jacket, taking his garters off, and oh yes, he's actually doing it. He's fouling his stockings.
What's wrong, Hamlet? Why are you fouling your stockings?
He grabs you by the wrist. You come to the entirely obvious conclusion that he's not acting like himself. This conclusion is reinforced in the next few moments when he moves his other hand to his forehead as if he might faint, but instead of fainting, he stares at you intensely.
Hamlet, I don't know why you're doing this,
He sighs really loudly.
Hamlet sighs really loudly. Don gave me such a look.
It's the most intense sigh you've ever heard. It's actually kind of impressive.
Look, if you'll just talk to me, we can, Fine, weirdo. Let's play this wrist-holding game, yay.
You meet his eyes, and he sighs one of those ultimate sighs again.
Ultimate sigh.
Wow. Then he gets up and leaves in what can only be described as the creepiest way possible. And that is walking with his head wrenched over his shoulder so that he can watch you even as he crab walks out the door. Well, that was weird.
All right, Zach, let's see if you can help us with one more. So, I mean, maybe he's sick, and you decide to check in with your dad because, as annoying as he is, your dad does have some experience in these matters. And then we're going to turn to page 435. Or maybe you follow Hamlet, your boyfriend, and ask him what's wrong this time. Maybe you can help him sort things out, and we'll go to 489. So you've guided us well so far, Zach. We haven't died under your care. What do you think for this last one?
I think we'll go with the first option.
Yeah, go
Papa
talk.
knows best.
Go talk to Dad.
You're just desperate to get us to her dad.
Well, shout out to your dad, Zach, and thanks for calling and listening to the Audience Adventure Radio Hour.
Thanks, Zach's dad.
All right, let's go on to page 435 to talk to our dad.
You goose your dad. I'm sorry. You go see your dad.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, is Hamlet sick?
But Polonius isn't there. Instead, in his room, you find an oversized yet crude papier-mâché Hamlet head and a note labeled 3-Step Plan to Replacing Hamlet. Let's take a look at that note, shall we? It reads,
Step 1, make Hamlet disguise.
and there's a check mark next to this one.
Step 2, hide behind curtain and then jump out as Hamlet so he gets so scared that he dies.
There's no check mark next to this one. That's a relief.
Step 3, dispose of body, wear Hamlet disguise. Well, I was afraid I was going to say wear Hamlet's body. Take over his life.
Wow, this is creepy. Turns out your dad is crazy, I guess, and with Hamlet sighing his way through insanity, that's pretty much the two most important men in your life gone bonkers. The only ones left are Brother Laertes and King Claudius, and you don't really like those two guys that much anyway.
I don't like you either.
Thank you, Laertes. Now, well, Ophelia, you basically have two choices here. You can pretend you didn't see this note, go to Hamlet's room and ask him what's going on, which I think would probably be the most sane thing to do. Or you can say, and I quote,
Screw these guys.
and go on vacation, and someone else can deal with this, or if not, these two can just dang well figure it out on their own. You got the money, Ophelia. You wanted to get away for a while.
So, listeners, this is the Audience Adventure Radio Hour. We need your help figuring out what to do next. So, are we going to go ask Hamlet what his friggin' deal is? Then we'll go to page 489. Or, hey, go on vacation. And we're going to go to page 470.
This is such a beautiful moment in the play when Ophelia kneels down and at her prayers, and Hamlet comes and kneels next to her, and he says, "Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered." And Ophelia says, "Hamlet, what is thy friggin' deal?"
I'm going on vacation. Well, we've got a caller calling in right now. Let's see if they want to help us. Hey, caller, you're on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour.
Hello,
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
my name's Alicia, and I'm calling from Aptos.
Alicia in Aptos is an alliteration that is helpful to me.
Oh, you missed it. Alicia in Aptos is an
Nailed it.
alliteration that is helpful. Great. Terrific. This is great radio, Bennett.
It is great radio.
It's great radio.
This is great radio. It's really good. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alicia and Aptos. So, let's see. Are you going to go ask Hamlet what his friggin' deal is? Well, actually, before we go there, Alicia and Aptos, have you ever been in Hamlet before?
No.
No. Were you in any plays? You ever done any Shakespeare's?
No.
Were you ever in a play in school or anything?
No.
Quit hounding the woman.
Are you under duress?
Do you need help?
Actually, I was in my 8th grade play.
Nice.
There we go.
What was it?
It was horrible. It
Okay.
was it
One
was
of my
like every year I went
love
to a
that
Catholic school. We did like a funny knockoff of like a Jesus story, but like really
Ooh.
bad.
Wow.
And I was Jane Blonde, like instead of James Bond, and I was like the investigator to find out like the mystery of Jesus.
You know what? Actually, that sounds great. I would pay folding money to see that.
That's wow. Do you know if anyone's ever made a branching narrative fiction version of the Jane Blonde Jesus discovery story?
And will they sell us the rights?
I'll have to look on eBay.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for calling and for hearing our cry. So, what do you think? Alicia, do you want to go ask Hamlet what his friggin' deal is, or do you want to go on vacation?
I would like to go talk to Hamlet.
Okay, let's go talk to Hamlet on page 489. And Alicia, stay with us because we're gonna have some more choices for
Well,
you.
here's what you've done to us, Alicia. You ask him what's wrong, and, well, there's no other way to put this, so I'll give it to you straight. Hamlet tells you about a spooky ghost and a plan for murdering his stepfather, Claudius, pretender to the throne. I'll be frank, it sounds crazy. A ghost murder? But he is your friend and lover, and you're not going to leave him hanging out to dry. As gently as you can, you tell him...
I'm pretty sure ghosts don't exist, but even if they do, you need to be certain that the ghost you saw was actually the ghost of your father. What if it was some other ghost trying to mess things up?
Some other ghost?
Hamlet, you want to take that one?
I never actually asked the ghost for information, only that he would know. It's possible it could be a ghost imposter.
An imposter ghost?
I'll come with you tonight, sweetie. We'll go together, and if a ghost shows up, we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, you're confident no ghost will appear, and this will all just go away. You take his hand and squeeze. Hamlet looks up to you, and you can see his squeeze. Hamlet looks up to you, and you can see his relief.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go onwards to see the ghost. Okay, we're going to go see. Alicia, we're going
Don's
to
a
go
brilliant actor.
see the ghost.
Evening comes, and Hamlet leads you to the spot outside where he first saw the ghost.
We have to wait till around midnight. I think that's when he normally shows up.
To pass the time, you play a storytelling game you enjoy where you say one word of a story and he says the next word, and neither of you knows where the story will go.
Once.
Upon time
There.
was beautiful
Prince.
who
Wanted.
to
Kiss.
his girlfriend.
That's cheating.
And then you're kissing.
Ooh. All right, Alicia, do you want to just, make out for a while, and then we'll turn to page 527? Or don't make out, because, and you can't believe you're thinking this, but what if a ghost catches you making out?
Scandal.
So scandalous.
Ghost scandal.
What if a ghost
Worst
saw you making out with somebody? And you'd have a ghost scandal.
Biggest fear.
What do you think, Alicia?
We're going to take the risk to make out.
Yes, spooky makeout.
Okay. So Laertes was right.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right,
Laertes is
527.
always wrong.
Hopefully.
Okay, you guys make out noises now. You make out for... You make out for what turns out to be quite a while, as the night is warm and the stars are stunning, and there are no bugs to here to bite any exposed flesh. There you see her, sitting there across the way, and before you know it, you've totally made out, as much as it is possible to totally make out. Nice. And you fall asleep in each other's arms. I'm reading straight from the text. If ghosts exist, and if one really did show up, he certainly had the good grace to leave you alone for your makeouts. Also, he was probably embarrassed. You were both way naked.
So naked.
Close your ears, Annika. If Annika's parents are listening, I just want you to know that
We're sorry.
that's it. The two of you return the same spot the next evening and evenings after that, but it becomes more and more a date night and less a specter from beyond the grave wants to get some murders done. Kind of thing. King Claudius and Polonius are not exactly thrilled with the two of you being together, but on the flip side, any urges to commit regicide that were floating around have begun to fade too. Though you talk about it often, the whole encounter with the ghost, if it really did happen, takes on the quality of a dream.
I totally saw you making out.
Thank you, Hamlet Sr. Rather than do the long-distance thing again, you decide to move in together and get your own place here in Denmark. Together, the two of you work on finalizing the invention of the alcohol thermometer. It works.
Science!
And even figure out the other half of it, a way to move heated air throughout a building. Congratulations, you've invented central heating.
That
Very
doesn't really happen. I don't, right? Or did my high school drama teacher just edit that out?
It's
for time.
This is actually it's a huge part of the end of Act 4.
The plumbing subplot.
The plumbing subplot with Osric the plumber. But it's not often done as much as it used to be. In the 18th century, it was really important, but now not so.
I mean, we're on the quarter system here at UCSC. You only got 10 weeks. I feel like you probably end up breezing over some of the central plumbing
No.
parts.
I always make sure that the students really get the central plumbing metaphor.
Okay.
Because
I'll have to revisit it after tonight.
yeah, because the Hamlet cleanst thou pipes is an important speech. When he says, I feel like I should be able to do this better. Hamlet says, nope, I can't, I don't have it. If I were a better actor, I would have.
You're a great actor, Michael.
Some kind of plumbing. Thank you, science fiction noises. Are you still with us, Alicia?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Good, because I think we lost Elizabeth. Okay. Well, it's not the largest. You do live in the most comfortable estate in the entire country, thanks to the heating money. One bright summer day, as the two of you walk through the castle garden, you get down on one knee and say,
Sweetie, you're the most important person in my life, and I can't imagine ever living without you. I want to make you as happy as you make me every single day. Let's get married.
You mean every word. It's not the most traditional proposal in the world, nor is it the most traditional wedding, but it's wonderful and beautiful and perfect. You're very happy
Yay.
you don't invite Claudius.
Yeah.
A few years later, Claudius falls ill with some sort of lung disease, and his doctors are unable to treat it effectively. Passes away only a few months later, having never produced an heir. Shortly after, the two of you become the new king and queen of all Denmark. Your first child, Alex, is born 5 months later, and you all live very happily ever after.
And yet now we turn the page to 215.
Oh! There's an illustration here
Oh, I see.
of Hamlet and Ophelia making out, although I should point out they are not way naked. And coming out from between them is, well...
The thermometer.
It's the thermometer, I think.
But it's boiling over because clearly the makeout is very hot. But I think we've learned an important lesson here today, which is Hamlet's troubles would have been solved through extreme makeout sessions.
That's right. The end.
Yep, it's the end.
That was, well, you got us, you know, Alicia, you chose the makeout path, and I think
chose
we were
well.
all with you on that one.
And
yeah.
we didn't die. Not even a little bit.
That's true. Nobody died.
You
No,
kept
we
her away from
Not
water.
even a little bit.
We grew.
Yeah, we kept her away from
when we
water.
mixed it
and
with
we-
alcohol.
That's true.
Now,
That's
and,
true.
and Michael, in all seriousness, is there anything about inventing thermometers or central heating in Hamlet?
Well, which edition are we talking about? Are we talking about the quarto or the folio? Because I think I can say without fear of contradiction that there is no mention whatsoever of indoor plumbing in the quarto version.
Okay.
Whereas
I guess
in the folio version, there is no mention of indoor plumbing.
Oh, okay. I wonder how much my high school drama teacher kept from us. You know.
Oh, I'm sure a lot. Knowing you, I would have kept a lot from you as well.
Well, thank you, Alicia, for helping us out.
Yay.
Thank you.
Important lesson today.
Do you?
Doubt, make out.
Can you?
When in doubt, Makeout.
Can you tell us one more time the name of the play that you
Write that down, Annika.
Well, that's too hard. I mean, I know I was Jane Blonde,
Jane Blonde.
Jane Blonde.
and it was like probably something about the mystery of Jesus or something.
Oh man.
Who
I
killed
know
Jesus?
there was like a song. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll look up the lyrics to the song and then I'll like email it. Do you guys have like a show email or?
Yeah, you can find me. I'm Bennett for Senate on Twitter, and you can write me there.
I don't have Twitter.
Bennett for Senate. You can also write about complaints that you have about our government.
Thanks, Alicia. Have a good night.
Alicia.
Bye.
You're awesome.
Bye.
Does she get a prize?
She gets a prize.
That's right.
Here
Get
is
our
your
stock prize.
thumbs up from me.
You know, you can't see this, Alicia, because thumbs up doesn't mean anything on the radio, but he actually is putting up his thumb.
That was a real, genuine thumbs up.
It's a nice
Actually-
thumb, too.
Oh, yeah.
Horizontal, good build.
Yeah.
Lots of
He
enthusiasm.
meant it.
Well,
That's right. Not too twisty.
Page Keeper.
Oh, it's my time.
Yay!
Shine, Annika.
Okay.
If you're not too traumatized.
I'm a little traumatized.
See that.
But we have multiple endings to go back to, or
Okay.
we can do a completely different ending.
Okay.
We can go back to what I marked Ghost Scandal.
Strong starting point.
Ghosts.
Follow Hamlet, Vacation, or invite your brother in the big first part.
No.
Not feeling the brother.
We could also
We
start
start all
with a
over?
new
More
character.
ghosts.
Character?
Oh, yeah. Jump all the way back. Yeah, we got 20 minutes left in the show. I think we could get down one of these pathways.
Oh my gosh, so many pages.
Thank you for joining us tonight, listeners. This is KZSC Santa Cruz, and you are listening to the Audience Adventure Radio Hour, the call-in show where we explore games and branching narratives, and we do it with your help when you call or text 831-459-4036. Tonight, we are playing Ryan North's To Be or Not to Be, where he has rewritten Hamlet as a branching narrative that we're playing through. So we're going to jump back to the beginning here, and we played through as Ophelia. So our other two options were Hamlet, which appears to be the choice that Shakespeare made when he played through this book, or play as Hamlet Senior. So again, 831-459-4036. If someone out there, you can give us a call, like Annika and Aptos. No, I was just looking at Annika.
Alicia.
See, I'm Alicia and Aptos. It worked. The alliteration worked. I'm stuck now.
Annika and Santa Cruz, Alicia and Aptos.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Annika and Sanica.
Annika's the
and
page
never
keeper.
the twain shall meet.
Annika's the page keeper, y'all.
Page keeper. Bennett.
yes,
Is it
Mike.
true that this is the only radio show of its kind where we are actually requiring, it's a radio drama show, but we're actually requiring the audience to engage and help us make decisions to create the content for the show? I think it may be the only show of its kind.
A rare bird indeed. Certainly here on the station.
There it is.
And in my experience as a radio producer, I think in doing some research, and actually there's a fanzine out there for the fighting fantasy branching fiction books, and they interviewed someone who put together a whole play. I'm
the
gonna have to
FFBFC. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you this. No, seriously, it's someone who made a audience adventure guided play, and there's all these different endings to it. Yeah, it sounded pretty wild, and they it sounded like a lot of high production values. So, I think people have done plays, but I'm no expert. But as far as I know,
I think so.
but I haven't looked very hard. So we've got someone saying, "Can we play as Hamlet?" I identify as an emo teen in my 30s.
Good for you.
And
Who is that?
That's it's Aaliyah in my house. Aaliyah texting from her house. Perhaps the Aaliyah we know.
Aaliyah, possibly Professor Dark.
Who knows? There's so many listeners out there.
I don't want to out any of our.
You'll have
we
to-
have 4 listeners now, and
You'll
I'm
have to-
excited about that.
You'll have to give us a clue, Aaliyah, in your house. But yeah, Hamlet. Let's do it. You
All
identify as an emo
right.
teen, so we're gonna go ahead and turn to page
All right, this is for you, Aaliyah.
22.
You are Hamlet! You're 30 years old and you're back living at home, but it's okay because your home is a castle. That's right, ladies, you're a prince. Things have been rough lately. You've been trying to focus on your studies at Wittenberg University, where you and your bros, Horatio, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern all hang out. But you were called home because your father died.
Oh.
Then your dead dad's brother, Claudius, married your mom, Gertrude, 2 weeks later. Yeah, it's made you kinda upset. You raced home to comfort her, but she's married to your uncle. That is weird, and you feel weird. Right now, you're in the audience chamber of your father's castle here in sunny Denmark. King Claudius is here, addressing his court. Laertes and Polonius are here, too. Laertes is kind of a jerk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Polonius,
Whatever, dude!
And Polonius is his father. Polonius is also the father of Ophelia, whom you're totally sweet on. She's not here, though. Who knows what adventure she's having as we speak, while you're stuck in this drafty castle room listening to other people talk about their feelings, ! Speaking of speaking, just now Laertes says something about how now that Claudius is king,
and I've attended the coronation, is it okay for me to go back to France?
Sure. Wait a minute, you'd love to leave too and go back to school away from this weird incesty thing your mother's gotten herself into. It's so gross and weird.
All right. Our first choice is Hamlet here. Listeners, is to ask Claudius for permission to go back to school, in which case we're going to turn to page 91. That is the choice made by one Will.I.am Shakespeare. Otherwise, you can hold your tongue and just wait around, and we're going to take a divergence off the path here. So give us a call or text, 831-459-4036. We've had Aaliyah at home chiming in, John chiming in, Zach called in, and Zach Sr. called in. Let's get another call, 831-459-4036. I will
Donut Zach
check the phone lines and
Donut Zach's dad.
maybe there's someone calling in from
right.
the Ferrells on Mission Street. Hello, caller. You're on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour.
Oh, hello there.
Hi. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
I'm calling Taco Bell.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh,
Nice.
that is amazing.
Wow.
We had someone calling from the Ferrell's Donut here in Santa Cruz, so we're on a roll with the fast.
Yeah, I ran all the way for the border.
Actually, Bennett, neither of those places serve rolls.
Oh, boo!
Two words.
You suck, Chemers.
So, Lauren at Taco Bell, what did you order at Taco Bell? First of all, so glad you called.
Supreme.
Really? Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of nods in the
Straight to business. Good job.
It's like a flat burrito tostada.
That knows what it's about. Absolutely.
But wait, is there so I feel like I'm such a conservative when it comes to Taco Bell. I just get the 3 crunchy tacos supreme. I just want 3 hard shell, like bright yellow tacos, and I put my fiery salsa on them. And am I wrong for not branching out into the rest of the menu? Is there some shining light out there in the Taco Bell menu for me, Lauren, that I'm missing out on?
Yeah, this flat burrito tostada thing has nacho cheese in it as well.
Oh,
Snap.
oh my.
And
Okay.
that's cheese with a Z.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Not an actual food product, but
It's
I
what
wouldn't want to say
cheese-
anything more.
Cheese food, yeah.
Cheese food, because
cheese-based food.
if anyone from the Taco Bell marketing department is listening to us, we are looking for a new sponsor.
No, we don't do sponsorship here on non-commercial radio. We do underwriting, Michael.
That's good for you there, Bennett.
So
Wait a minute, I'm calling you from my island.
hey, Lauren, have you ever read Hamlet before?
No.
Were you ever in any plays?
Yes, I was.
Oh.
I was in a play in senior year of high school.
Oh, cool. Do you remember anything about it?
Yeah, it was My Fair Lady.
Oh, and who did you play?
I played one of the Cockney townspeople.
Oh, my! Nice, Lauren. Fearless.
And I was also in the servants' chorus.
The servants chorus. I feel like that there's one of those in Hamlet, I think, in the background.
Oh,
here.
yeah. And Lauren, you've just showed enough acting acumen to get cast on Audience Adventure Hours.
Welcome.
Cheerio. Let's see you at the studio.
All right.
Well done.
So, what do you think, Lauren? We're hanging around. We're Hamlet. Our dad died. Uncle married mom. It's back to school here at UC Santa Cruz. Should we also ask Claudius for permission to go back to school, or should we hold our tongue and stick around?
Ooh. Well, I wouldn't say ask for permission.
Right.
Just do it.
That's not one of our options, unfortunately.
That is so great. This is the first time a listener has told us to just go off book.
Let's just pick a random page and just go to it.
Well, if you had to pick one of these two, Lauren.
Lauren, what's more important, the not asking permission or the going back to school?
Not asking permission.
Well, maybe we could just...
I call that hold your tongue.
Yeah, hold your tongue and wait, because you might have another chance to tell off your Uncle Dad.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, here we go. Page 726.
You stay silent,
Stay with us, Lauren.
but King Claudius addresses you anyway.
I'm king now, and it's time for you to stop mourning as your father is dead, and everyone has to die sometime, right? Man up, walk it off, boy. Drop me a letter about it, it's not my problem. Number 1, cheer up already, Lane, Dopesville, Denmark.
Boom!
I agree, Claudius. And then they leave. You kind of wish you'd insulted him when you had the chance.
Oh, sorry, Lauren.
In the meantime, you're alone in an empty council room and feeling pretty sad. An empty room offers a ton of possibilities, which include things you can do inside this empty room, such as...
Okay, here's your options. You could talk to yourself about how your life is in ruins and how everything just sucks.
That's what it actually says.
You can leave the room. That's an option to do when you're in a room. You also, hey, you're finally home. It's been a week since you've embarked. Sit on the throne as the prince of... Oh, I see. Let me read you that one. You're finally home. It's been weeks since you embarked, so you could sit on the throne as the Prince of Denmark. What are you in the mood to do, Lauren?
Topical.
Leave that room. Bail, dude, bail.
Bail? Okay, leave the room. Page 98.
While you're busy doing that, your friend Horatio bumps into you and tells you, A, he's in town for your dad's funeral / mom's wedding, and they served leftover appetizers from one at the other.
Oh, so good.
B, ghosts are real. C,
Ghosts! Ghosts are real!
he's seen one, and so have a bunch of other guys. D, it keeps showing up at the same time. And E, he's pretty sure it's the ghost of your dad. Finally, some adventure, some closure. You agree that you'll come with him tonight to see the ghost when it shows up again. It's such an obvious decision that it kind of feels like you don't even have a choice in the matter. So you agree to go with Horatio tonight to see the ghost when it shows up again.
All right. Turning onward.
Ghosts are real.
Ghosts are real.
Okay.
All right, Hamlet.
I'll be there, 11:30 sharp.
Horatio leaves satisfied. Well, now you have 8 hours to blow before it's time to meet ghosts. What do you want to do, Hamlet?
All right. Lauren, do you want to be Ophelia for a while? And then we'll just turn to page 46. Or we can play solitaire. Turn to page 99.
Tough choice.
Let's go, Ophelia.
Okay.
Nice.
Go, Ophelia.
Well done.
I mean, why not swap into someone else's body?
Now, I noticed that the Go-Ophelia page starts the Ophelia story, and since we spent some time with her, maybe this is the chance for our true ghost scandal opportunity we discussed
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
the
good.
Go
page keeper.
play solitaire?
The page keeper wants us to jump right to the ghost scandal.
You can't play solitaire with a ghost.
No,
True.
that won't
Or
work.
what else?
Wait, well,
Maybe
true.
it's the only thing you can play with a ghost.
I kind of pictured like a ghost
What
laying.
about hide and go seek?
Oh! Get him, Lauren! Get him! Don't. Oh, that was good. I kind of picture a ghost putting its hand on your shoulder, like when you play solitaire. You know.
Well, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
She's good. She's a live
She
one.
is good.
We got a live one.
We got to get her on the show.
Say she has spirit.
Oh!
Ooh.
I mean, like, don't, but you could.
Friday night puns.
I'd like to, talent-wise, I'd like to inspector.
This is how we boo it.
Oh my God. All right, Pagekeeper. Oh, Pagekeeper. Oh, Pagekeeper. Great Annika the Pagekeeper, we summon thee.
Yes, it is I.
Where whilst we find the ghost scandals.
Ghost Scandals at page 534.
All right.
Oh my god.
Take a long
Yes,
I like
yes.
the carnival
scrolling,
This just in, Ghost
scrolling.
Scandal at page 34.
Is it 534 where we're going?
Yes, you got it.
This book is huge.
There's so
book
many
is so
illustrations.
big.
500 and what?
Many ghosts.
Keep
many
scrolling and
What?
scrolling
so
and
fast.
scrolling and
Oh, we're too
scrolling.
far.
Keep scrolling
Whoa,
and
scroll your
scrolling and scrolling.
I'm in 550. Close and close.
534?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, found it.
All right. So,
This book is huge.
Pagekeeper, let's see. What was going on at the ghost scandal?
So we're hanging out with Hamlet. Ophelia and Hamlet are
Oh.
waiting for the ghost, and they could have either chosen to make out, which led to
Right.
a lovely ending, or be nervous that the ghost would witness said make out, and that's what this choice is right here.
You turn your head away after a few smooches.
I think it's Ophelia.
It's Ophelia.
Oh, wow. Oh, right, because we're Ophelia now. That's enough. We don't want your dad catching us making out.
Hamlet grins and pulls you close to him.
I think he'd be cool with it. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely weird.
But you excuse it because you know people can say some really weird things when they're way horny. You kiss some more, but finally push him away for real this time.
What makes you think he wants to spend the afterlife watching us make out?
Well, it's what I'd want to do.
Ah!
I mean, if it were me and I was also the ghost.
You're about to reply when you're interrupted by an awkward cough coming from the next world. No, Bennett, it's a supernatural cough.
Oh.
Can you do the supernatural cough?
This one?
That's it.
No, that's Black Sabbath.
Do you want to be the ghost?
Oh yeah, sorry. We have ghost lines. Hey guys!
It's a different choice than I'd make, but okay. You're too shocked to say anything. Don't say anything. They're so good. Ghosts are real, Ophelia. Surprise! Hamlet looks up at the ghost and waves.
Hi, Dad.
Hello. Well, folks, we just met our ghost dad. We just got there. It just seems like we finally barely cracked the code, but we've come to the end of this hour of the Audience Adventure Radio Hour. Thank you, Lauren.
Lauren, thanks for being such a great fan, Tom.
Oh, you were cooking that one, weren't you?
Spiritus Sanctus.
Thanks, Lauren. You think you're going to go, check out some Shakespeare now? They're spooky ghosts. Could be fun.
Ghosts are real.
Plumbing.
And plumbing.
Plumbing.
Zoinks.
Thanks.
Jinkies.
Did you say zoinks and jinkies? We got to get her on the show, Bennett.
You can tweet at me if anyone wants to keep up with the show. I'm at Bennett4Senate. And the place to go to get the podcast for the show, audienceadventure.show. Thanks, Lauren. I'm going to let you go. Give us a call next week. We'll be back here, same time, same place. Bye, Lauren.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And to everyone with me on the air tonight, Michael, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us,
for
Bennett.
being here. Annika the Pagekeeper.
Ooh, I did my job.
You did your job.
Spooky job.
So spooky and scandalously. Donovan, thank
Pleasure
you,
as
sir.
always.
And Elizabeth, thank you.
Happy endings in science. What could be better?
I think we're going to have to pick this one up next week. I mean, we only finally just met the ghost of Hamlet's dad, and I remember that being a really important part of this play when I was in it in high school. So.
You can take it or leave it. It's
Ghosts,
not as important as the plumbing.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, everybody. We'll be back next Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. You can catch us at 88.1 FM or online, streaming.kzsc.org. Go to audienceadventure.show for the podcast, and stay tuned for Horn on the Cob with DJ Brown Butter, bringing you some excellent tunes for your Friday night.
Tunes.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Corn.